3:47 p.m. on a Thursday. I was in the middle of a root canal procedure when my phone started vibrating in my scrub's pocket. I ignored it. You don't stop mid-drill because of a text message. But then it buzzed again. And again. 6 times in rapid succession, the way phones only buzz when something has gone catastrophically wrong. I excused myself, apologizing to Mrs. Henderson, whose mouth was propped open with a rubber dam, and stepped into the hallway. The messages were from my business partner, Dev. Each one more frantic than the last. Check the account. Now, Alina, I'm serious. Someone cleaned us out. Call me immediately. I opened my banking app with hands that suddenly felt numb. Our shared business account, the one we used for the dental practice we'd built together over 7 years, showed a balance of $847. Last week it had been $284,000. Money we'd saved for the expansion, for the new location in the medical plaza, for everything we'd worked toward since dental school. I called Dev. He picked up on the first ring. It was Jordan, he said, his voice hollow. Your brother transferred it all this morning. He had signing authority from when we first opened, remember? When we needed 3 people on the account for the commercial loan. Jordan, my younger brother. The one I'd given a job as our office manager when he'd been fired from his 3rd position in 2 years. The one I'd vouched for. The one I'd trusted. I didn't go home that night. I went to Jordan's apartment. He answered the door in a designer tracksuit I'd never seen before, the tag still hanging from the sleeve. Behind him, I could see shopping bags, dozens of them. Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Bang & Olufsen. The entire living room looked like the stockroom of a luxury mall. Alina, he said, and had the audacity to smile. I was going to call you. I told him, you stole $300,000 from my business. My voice sounded strange, distant, like it was coming from underwater. Our business, he corrected. I work there too, and I didn't steal anything. I took what I was owed. Do you know what it's like working for you? Watching you succeed while I answer phones and file insurance claims. I deserved this. I looked past him at the bags, at the 85-inch television still in its box, at the electric bike leaning against the wall. You spent it, I said, not a question, a diagnosis. I invested in myself, Jordan said, crossing his arms. In my happiness. You've always had everything, Alina. The perfect grades, the perfect career, the perfect life. I'm tired of being your charity case. This is my chance to level the playing field. I stood there in the hallway of his apartment building, breathing through my nose the way I'd learned to do in the middle of difficult procedures. And I realized something fundamental. My brother wasn't apologetic. He wasn't even embarrassed. He was defiant. In his mind, he'd simply taken what he believed he was entitled to. I pulled out my phone and dialed 911. Jordan's face changed. What are you doing? He asked. Reporting embezzlement, I said. I'm your brother, he hissed, reaching for my phone. I stepped back. You were my brother, I said. Now you're a criminal. The police arrived 18 minutes later. I gave them everything. The account statements, the transfer records, the signature cards showing Jordan's unauthorized use of business funds for personal purchases. I watched them handcuff him in his designer tracksuit, and I felt nothing. Not sadness, not anger, just a cold, clean certainty that I'd made the right choice. My mother called me at midnight. She was screaming before I could even say hello. How could you do this to your own brother? He's in jail, Alina. Do you understand? Your baby brother is sitting in a cell because you couldn't just let this go, I told her calmly. He stole from my business. He committed a felony. She shrieked back, it's family money. We're supposed to take care of each other. I didn't raise you to be this cold. I thought about the 12 years of school after college. The $400,000 in student loans I'd paid off myself. The nights I'd fallen asleep at my desk studying while Jordan was out partying. The years of building something from nothing. I said quietly, you didn't raise me at all. I raised myself. Jordan made his choice. Now he gets to live with it. I hung up and blocked her number. The next morning, I sat in my attorney's office. Her name was Patricia Wu, and she was reading through the police report with the focused intensity of a surgeon examining an X-ray. She warned me, "They're going to come after you, your family. They're going to try to make you drop the charges. They'll use guilt, they'll use shame, they'll threaten you, and because you're a woman, they'll call you heartless. They'll say you're being emotional, vindictive, that you should be more forgiving." I told her I knew. She looked up and said, "Good." Because here's what most people don't understand about family theft. It's not just about the money. It's about power. Your brother took from you because he believed he had the right to. If you let this go, you're confirming that belief. We decided to not just prosecute, but to send a message. Patricia filed a civil suit alongside the criminal charges, going after restitution, damages, and legal fees. When I mentioned he had spent it all and had nothing, she smiled a cold smile. "He has future earnings," she said. "We'll garnish his wages for the next 20 years if we have to. We'll put a lien on any property he ever tries to buy. We'll make sure this follows him like a shadow." I signed the papers. The blowback was immediate and vicious. My mother caused scenes at my practice, my aunt attacked me on Facebook, and my cousin called me petty. But the worst was my father. He just looked at me with profound disappointment and said, "I thought I raised you better than this. I thought you understood what family means." I replied, "You raised me to have boundaries." That's exactly what I'm doing. The trial took 8 months. Jordan pleaded guilty and was ordered to pay $327,000. He didn't have it, so we went after everything. We garnished 25% of his wages from his new job at a call center and put liens on his car and tax refunds. Every paycheck would have a chunk missing, a permanent reminder. But the real victory came 6 months later. Our patient base grew because the story went viral. Other business owners respected that I held a family member accountable. Within a year, we had recovered and expanded to 2 locations. The theft that was supposed to destroy us had made us stronger. I saw Jordan once more, 18 months later, at a coffee shop. He was thinner and wearing a uniform from an electronics store. He saw me and froze. For a moment, I thought he might apologize. Instead, he turned and walked out. I finished my coffee in silence, feeling free. 3 years later, standing in our second location, my father texted me, "I saw the article about your expansion. I was wrong about you. Can we talk?" I stared at it for a long time, then I deleted it. Some bridges aren't worth rebuilding. I learned I could trust myself and hold a line, even against those I loved. That clarity cost me everything, and it was worth every penny.